The First World War was one of the most important wars in history. The main cause for the war was the killing of Franz Ferdinand, which was the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. Gavrilo Princip was the young man that killed Ferdinand, his wife, and their unborn baby. 1 month after this event, in July 28, 1914, the war began. As a way to change strategies, the army started to build trenches, which had a major role in the war. These trenches were considered innovative, but they only helped in bringing sanitary problems and diseases to the soldiers. The two main alliances in the war were the Central Powers, consisting of Germany, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria, and the Allied Powers, consisting of Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, and USA, who joined the war in 1917. In general, the Allies were 25 countries. An arms race began throughout Europe, which is a competition among nations to see which country can have the most and the best weapons. Thanks to this, new weapons came to light, such as the mustard gas, tear gas, tanks, and machine guns. 3 years after the start of the war, things were starting to look bad. The soldiers didn't want to fight anymore, and the people were demanding peace. Crisis was starting to rise in every country involved in the war. Russia had a revolution in their country, so they decided to get out of the war. They were the first country to leave. A year later, the United States joined the war because they were attacked by a German submarine and they wanted to help the Allies. After a few months of fighting and Germany's plans failing, Germany finally surrendered. The war ended on November 11, 1918, 4 years and 4 months after the start. Most of the countries got involved in the armistice, which is an agreement to stop fighting. In January 8, 1918, the winning countries had a meeting in Paris. There, they made the Treaty of Versailles, which stated that Germany had to lose 10% of their territory, all of their colonies, take all of the blame of the Allied losses, repay everything, and have their military reduced to 100,000 people. It also created the United Nations, whose main objective was to stop another war. After the war ended, the world had a false feeling of peace, and they never would have guessed the terrible consequences of a conflict of that scale. As the soldiers were let go from the army, many of them found themselves homeless, poor, and with no family nor friends. Thousands of men had little opportunity to get jobs since the women had filled the gap made by men fighting the war. After the war ended, another period started in the US, the Great Depression, which damaged millions of people across the country. Everything that happened after that is history.